Hello and welcome to my YouTube. In this YouTube, I'm going to demonstrate MIDIWorld, thousands of free songs for your E463 keyboard. In this YouTube, I'm going to demonstrate how to use MIDIWorld to play thousands of the most popular songs from the past 70 years on your E463 keyboard. There are three main sections to this YouTube. Number 1. What is MIDIWorld and how do I use it? Number 2. How do I find songs and download them from MIDIWorld into my computer or phone or tablet? Number 3. How do I play these songs on my E463 keyboard? We'll start with an introduction to MIDIWorld. I've made a video for you. Watch. I'm going to go into MIDIWorld.com now. Ready? Click. Here we are. Now you may notice across here that there's a menu. And what I'm going to do in the next few minutes is just sort of take you around and show you how this thing works. You click on Main and it tells you all about MIDI and the different methods of MIDI. And you could click on Basics and once again you get a very detailed explanation of MIDI if you don't know what that is. FAQ, frequently asked questions. This is helpful again for people who are new to this whole business of MIDI. MIDI forum, this is a place where people come and ask questions and get answers. Where you want to go right here, and I'm going to zoom in on the screen. You want to go into Files. So let me back out. I'm going to click on Files. Ready? Click. All right, this is a busy page. You can ignore all of this. These are songs, but it's not a good way to go in and find songs. Let me start with what you don't want to waste any time on, and that is this thing. It's called Sounds. I'll click on it. These things just don't work. Most of them take you out to a file not found, so don't waste any time coming in here. There's nothing in here that you need. Notice the word composers and classical. Let me start with this. I'm going to click on the word composers. Click. And what you have is an alphabetical list of great composers going all the way back to the 10th century up to the 1970s. And so there are, dozens and dozens of composers in here. Okay? I'm going to go back. Then notice the word classical. I'm going to click on that. Click. This is an alphabetical list of classical composers. Classical composers lived from, let's say 1725 to 1850. Bach, Brahms, Beethoven, Mozart, Schubert, Paganini. My daughter was a concert violinist, and a lot of times she would come home from concert or from practice, and I would say, "So, hon, what music are you working on?" And she would always laugh and smile and say, "Oh, we're playing music that was written by a lot of white, long-haired dead guys." That was the way she described classical composers: Bach, Beethoven, Mendelssohn, Brahms, Schubert, Mozart. Those were the classical composers. So that's what this is. Notice this alphabet up here. And once again, I'll zoom in so we can see it. So this is where you're going to go. These are the names of the artist, either the singer or the band or the orchestra that made a song famous. Now, unfortunately, it's not organized by their last name, it's by the first name. And for example, let me just arbitrarily go here into R. All right? So I'm going to click on the letter R. Ready? Click. And I'll zoom in so we can see this. So here we have Ray Charles, Ricky Lee Jones, Ringo Starr, Rita Coolidge, REO Speedwagon, Randy Newman, Rage Against the Machine, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Rolling Stones, Rush, Rihanna. So it's the first letter of their first name or title, not their last name. So let me go back and let's go into another one. Let's go into the B's. And I'll zoom in so you can see this. Bach, Beethoven, Backstreet Boys, Barbra Streisand, Benny King, Bananarama, Bruce Hornsby, Britney Spears, Brandy, Bobby Darin, Blood, Sweat, and Tears. So you get the idea? It's the first letter of their first name. Let me show you just kind of how silly this gets. T. I'm going to click on T, all right? So it is the Association, the Carpenters, the Cowsills, the Everly Brothers, the Go-Go Dolls, the Monkees, the Righteous Brothers, the Supreme. They picked up on the word the Zombies, the Verve Pipe, Tony Orlando, the Drifters, the Four Tops, the Four Seasons. So it's kind of an unusual way to go about things alphabetically, but that's what they do. All right. So this is the alphabetical name of the person or the band by their first name, or even the word the. So let me go back here and I'm going to click on the R and I'm going to pick on one of my favorite bands from the 60s, the Rolling Stones, okay? So here they are and I'm going to click on them. Ready? Click. So I'll zoom in here. So now I am looking at songs made famous by the Rolling Stones. Brown Sugar, Get Off of My Cloud, Gimme Shelter, Honky Tonk Woman, Mother's Little Helpers, one of my all-time favorites, Satisfaction, Ruby Tuesday. Now, notice at the end of each one of these songs, you see the word download in red. This is the way this works, folks. Once you get to the listings of some artist, all you're going to have to do is click if you're on a computer, or tap if you're on a smartphone or an iPhone or an iPad, and you will instantly download that MIDI song into your computer or your phone or your tablet. It's that simple. Let me back out here. I'm going to download 4 songs real quick. Ready? Click. See that little animation? That's the way my Macintosh works. I'm going to go down here, paint it black. Ready? Click. Zoop. There it goes. Satisfaction. Ready? Click. Zoop. There it goes. Oh, Sympathy for the Devil. I'm clicking on the word download. Ready? Click. Zoop. And there it goes. Now on my Macintosh, anytime I download anything off of the internet, it goes into my download folder. And I can go over here and I'm going to open it up for you. So now, here are all of those songs that I just downloaded. They're sitting inside my download folder on my Macintosh. So now you know you can go into the MIDIWorld.com and you can find a song by looking through the alphabetical list of who the singer or the performer is. But there's also an easier way. Look over here. Let me zoom in so you can see this. This is a search box. And all I have to do is type in the name of the song I want, or I could type in the artist. For example, I'm going to type in the Beatles, Thebeatles, the Beatles. Now let me back out so you can see my screen. And now I'm going to click on search. Ready? Click. And guess what? Here are all of the songs by the Beatles. My friends, there are 8 pages, and there are 30 songs on each page. So this website has 226 Beatles songs. Here's one page. Here's another page. And I'm clicking down here. Here's page 3. I mean, it just goes on and on. 226 Beatles songs that you can download. How much does this all cost? Free. This doesn't cost anything, and this is legal. They have put this up here so that people can download them and put them into their computers and play these songs. Okay? So there's another song I like. I'm up here in the search box, and I'm going to type in Gloria, Gloria. That's a song that I liked. And now I'm going to click on search. Ready? Click. And sure enough, I'll zoom in here. Gloria by Laura Branigan, one of my all-time favorite songs from years ago. So you can put in the name of a song or the name of an artist. Let's say Peggy Sue, Peggysue. Go find Peggy Sue. Ready? Click. And here it is. Peggy Sue by Buddy Holly. And all I have to do is click on the download. So I think this is going to be the way you'll want to probably use this. Just type in the name of the song, and it will instantly go and find it if it's there. Now, you've got thousands of songs by several thousand artists in here. This is a gold mine of MIDI songs, my friends. And in a moment, I'm going to show you. So once you downloaded them, how do I get them into my E463 keyboard to play them? Okay, so now you know. You come into MIDIWorld, you go into Files, you can search alphabetical by the singer or the artist, or you can come over here and just type in the name of the song you want, and it will instantly take you to that. And let's Satisfaction, Tisfaction. So I've typed in Satisfaction. Oh, if I could spell it. And it says, hey, stupid, you got to spell it right. Satisfaction. Satisfaction. And it says, okay, here you go. Satisfaction by the Rolling Stones. And one click of my mouse. Ready? Click. And I've downloaded Satisfaction. Okay? So now let's go to the next part. How do you get the songs from your computer or your iPhone or your tablet? How do you actually get them into your keyboard? Watch the next part. In a moment when I go live, I'm going to be pressing some buttons, so I want to show you a close-up of my E463 keyboard. First of all, I'll talk about pressing the song button. That's right here. This will allow me to go into the thumb drive and locate the MIDI songs that I've stored on there. I will be using this rotary dial to dial through the 3 songs that are on my YouTube or on my thumb drive. And notice once again, I am limited to only 8 letters. And by the way, the first song on the thumb drive always starts at file number 041. So you're going to sit here and watch me spin the dial as I go from 001 up to 041 when I finally start loading in the songs that are stored on the thumb drive. Okay? The other button I'll be pressing is once I have located the song that I want. In this example, we're looking at Candles in the Wind. Then I will press this button, the Start Stop, to start playing the song and or to stop it. I'll be talking about the ability to turn off any one of the 6 tracks that are in the song. And right here, I see which of the 6 tracks are turned on. In this example, all 6 tracks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and A, they're all turned on. But by pressing these buttons, I can turn off the track. Why would I want to do that? What I will like to do is load in a song, turn off the melody track, and then I'll play the melody on my E463 keyboard. So this is a close-up of the track buttons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and A. And by looking up here on the screen, I can tell which ones are turned on and turned off. In this example, all 6 tracks are turned on. If they're black like this, they're turned on. Now I'm ready to demonstrate the next section. How do I transfer these MIDI songs from my computer or my phone into my keyboard? So I have inserted a thumb drive into my Macintosh. And now I'm going to go over to that download folder where I downloaded 3 songs for the purposes of this demonstration. Let me show you what they are. I downloaded Elton John's Candle in the Wind, Laura Branigan's Gloria, and the Rolling Stones' Satisfaction. So now what I'm going to do is transfer those 3 songs from my download folder into this thumb drive. So I'll do that now. Here we go. Click, drag, drop. Done. Let me close up the download folder. All right. So now the songs are in my thumb drive. Here's a problem with the little E463 keyboard. My screen can only display 8 letters. So it's only going to show me Elton/J or Laura/B or the word rolling. It cannot display the entire name of the file. So this is what I highly recommend. I recommend that you edit the names of these files so when this thing shows up inside the keyboard, you can tell what it is. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of Elton John and it will start with Candle. I'm going to come up here and get rid of Laura Branigan and all I will see is Gloria. I'm going to get rid of the get rid of the name Rolling Stones and all I want is Satisfaction. All right. So now when I stick this thumb drive in, it's going to start by showing me the first 8 letters of the names. So I can recognize Candle. I can recognize Gloria. I'll be able to recognize Satisfaction. I highly recommend that because it's easy when you only have 8 letters to lose track of what's the name of this song. So the 3 MIDI songs are now safely stored on the thumb drive. Now what I'm going to do is take this thumb drive and insert it into the back of my E463 keyboard. So let's go live to the E463 keyboard. So here we are at the E463 keyboard. I have downloaded 3 of those MIDI songs on my thumb drive, and I plugged the thumb drive into the back of my keyboard. Now I reach out and I press the song button, and it illuminates, it's glowing. And then I use the rotary dial and I dial up 041. That's the first digital or MIDI song stored on the thumb drive. And those MIDI songs files are stored alphabetically on the thumb drive. So on my screen I see 041 Candle In. So this is Candle in the Wind. To play it, I press the start-stop button. There's also a pause button right beside it. So I'm going to start playing. Now, this is not an audio recording. The MIDI is playing 6 different instruments inside the keyboard. Ready? Let's go. Now, in a minute or two, I'm going to play that song. I don't happen to like the horn that's playing the melody, so I'm going to turn off that track and I'll play a grand piano anyway. Okay, now I'm using the rotary dial and I'm dialing up 042, and that is Gloria. And on my screen, I see the word Gloria 042. Okay, here we go. I'm pressing the start-stop button. Now, let me show you 2 different things you can do. Number 1 is you can change the key by using the transpose button. So I'm going to transpose down 3 notes actually. So let's listen to it now. Okay, I'm going to transpose it up 5 notes, and let's listen. And why would you want to do that? Maybe you're playing along with someone and they're going to sing, but it's in a key too high, so you can lower the song into a key that someone could sing. Or maybe you have a friend who plays a guitar, but he only knows E, A, and D chords. So you could transpose the song so your guitar friend could play along using the chords that he knows. Okay? The other thing you can do is you can change the tempo. So I'm reaching out to the tempo button, and the song, when you first start playing it, the MIDI automatically sets the tempo of the song. It sets the key and the tempo. That's built into the MIDI information. So this song is playing at 135 beats per minute. I'm going to slow it down to 110. And why would you want to change the tempo? I'll give you a really good reason. Maybe you're trying to learn the song. You're trying to learn to play the melody. Wouldn't it be nice if it would go real slow while you're learning how to play it? And then as you get better and better, you can speed it back up. So you control the tempo. Okay, let's go to the third song. I'm using the rotary dial, and on my screen I see file number 043, which is Satisfaction by the Rolling Stones. So here we go. The other thing you can do is you can turn on or turn off any one of the 6 tracks. So this song used 6 different tracks, 6 different instruments. So I'm going to sit here and turn on and turn off the tracks so you can see how that works. Okay, so that's MIDIWorld files loaded down into your computer or your phone or your tablet, transferred into a thumb drive. You plug the thumb drive in, you press the song button, then you use the rotary dial, and the first song is 041. So you have to dial all the way up there, just keep spinning till you get there. So 041 is the first song stored on the thumb drive, and they're stored alphabetically. So now what I want to do is I want to rearrange the keyboard, and I'm going to go back and choose Candle in the Wind. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the melody that was recorded in that song, and I'm going to set my keyboard up as a grand piano, and I will play the melody in Candle in the Wind. So give me just a second.